All right, we're live. What's up, YouTube? Hobo Nichol BBQ back with you again, and with Carl from Baker's BBQ live in the hot seat.
Hey guys.
You want to say hi or anything, Carl?
Hey guys, it's awesome to be here. I hope I can do justice to this show.
I see Christy got on here. Not sure if she's actually viewing yet because she is now like 1 for 5 in watching this thing. At least the first 5 minutes. All right, we'll get started. Carl, where are you from?
Well, I'm from Virginia Beach area. I grew up in a rural town in Hampton Roads, Suffolk, Virginia. Peanut capital of the East Coast, actually. And yeah, now I live in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. It's Amish country.
How far from Pittsburgh are you?
Oh, Pittsburgh is the other side of the state. I'm actually closer to Philadelphia. I'm only about an hour from Philadelphia. So Pittsburgh is 3.5, 4 hours away.
All right, so I have a 5-hour drive to collaborate with you.
That's funny. I was actually looking up where you were from and looking on the map, and it said that we were right about 6 hours away.
All right, family, wife, kids, etc.
Yep, I am married to Camera Girl. You guys probably haven't seen her, but definitely seen the references to Camera Girl. That's my wife. We've been married since 2004. So 2017? I don't know. Do the math. I was not a math major. So, but yeah, we've been married since 2004, and I have 2 stepsons. One's 25, the other one's 21. Yeah.
All right, I'm assuming that you don't do YouTube as a career and you have a real job. What is that?
I'm an engraver. I work for a sign shop, and we do trophies, plaques, engraving on just pretty much anything, jewelry items. We also do signs. The one thing that we actually specialize in is we do ADA signage. Like if you go into like a hospital or a college or something or a retirement home, you see those signs with the raised letters and the braille on them. That's what we make. We customize those. We work with like a lot of architects and designers and construction firms to customize the signage in their buildings to match the interior decor of the building. So they don't have to just order something offline that's just a standard black sign with white letters, a standard square. We do custom colors, custom shapes, all that. So that's really our specialty.
That's cool. All right, your channel. How long have you had it, and what's it all about?
I started the YouTube channel late spring, early summer of this year. Actually, it's a pretty new channel. It's all about outdoor lifestyle. You know, cooking outdoors, being outdoors, just everything that's involved in that. Mostly cooking. Me and my brother, Pitmaster Tim, we got to talking. It's been sort of a pipe dream of ours for a long time to open up a barbecue place. And one of the times we were talking about that, we started talking about watching different YouTube videos, and we both said, well, heck, we could do that. Well, I think I took it to heart a little bit more than he did. So next thing you know, I started a YouTube channel, and I was like, here we go, let's do it. And that's pretty much how I got started.
Does he have a channel, or have you not talked him into it yet?
No, he doesn't have his own channel. He collaborates with Baker BBQ. He has a couple videos on the channel. You know, he has the password and all that, and he can upload videos too. He's more behind the scenes. You know, I talk to him all the time, but he's not really the on camera personality of Baker BBQ, but he's definitely a big part of it.
Right. I see Corby Q just signed on. He said he's watching from the hospital. Corby, I hope you're okay.
Jeez, yeah, me too, man. Hope you're all right, Corby.
Something with his foot, and thought he was going to be okay, and then apparently it's not worked out. Corby, make a comment, like, let us know you're not on your deathbed.
Yeah, really.
All right. What do you record with?
My droid. That's it. That's all I've got. I do everything on that, actually. I do my recording. I do my editing, which is very little. One of the things that I wanted to do with the channel was sort of keep it raw, so I basically just record clips. If I mess up, I just keep going with it. And I use an app called Video Show, and it just basically just takes my clips and fuses them together and creates one video, and then I just upload it to YouTube. I mean, as far as my editing, it's next to zero. It's really just fusing clips together and then uploading it.
Right. All right, so I'm going to switch gears here and get off this just because I'll forget about it. Christy wants me to ask you the question she posted on the YouTube Facebook group using her accent, and I don't have the hair.
You did.
I'm not sure I can do this yet. Hooly hooly chicken. Is it really good or is it just fun to say?
Oh my goodness. Both, actually. Absolutely both. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like to do it's hooly hooly chicken time, hooly hooly chicken time? I mean, that's better than peanut butter and jelly. Come on, honestly. But no, hooly hooly chicken is delicious. It really is. It's one of my favorite recipes. I've done it a couple times. The first time I did it, it was just for the family, and that's when I did the video. And then it was so good that I actually called my mom, because my mom was going to come up to visit in a couple weeks after that. And I called her and I said, Mom, I did this recipe and I did a video of it, and it's so good. I have to make this for you. So I made it for her, when she was up, and that was a hit too. It's so good. I even another one of my videos that I did, I think I called them Aloha Chicken Balls, was based on the hooly hooly chicken recipe. I had just gotten the grinder attachment that hooks up to a KitchenAid mixer. And so, of course, a new toy, I was itching to use it and thinking of what I could do with it. And the hooly hooly chicken was actually still on my brain because of how good it was. So I wanted to try to incorporate that. So I ground up some chicken and tried to figure out how to get those flavors and those ingredients into the chicken balls. So that's what I did, and I smoked those, and they were really good too. So we'll have to play with that recipe a little bit. I'm not sure how that's all going to end up, later on. I want to do it a few more times. It might be something I try to do in the oven and do indoors, but keep that smoke flavor on it, I think, was important. We'll see. But yeah, definitely hooly hooly chicken. It's delicious, and it's fun to say.
Rich's River Spirit wants me to ask you what state you live in, but I already know that answer. Rich, he lives in Pennsylvania on the east side, just outside of Philly, about an hour.
Yep.
Hooly hooly chicken. I don't want to let this go because I've not made it yet. So I actually picked up a bottle of sauce from World Market by my house. I don't know if you guys have those out by you, but they've got pretty much random stuff from every country. But
Okay.
I picked up a bottle of it. I've yet to make it. So what am I in store for flavor-wise?
Flavor-wise, it's got a very sweet, almost sweet, spicy Asian influences. There's a lot of ginger flavor in it. I'm a big fan of the ginger flavor, and so is my wife. So I think we added probably a little bit more fresh ginger than what the recipe calls for, because we just love that flavor. But even if you do exactly what the recipe calls for, you still get a pretty strong ginger. It's definitely sort of a, yeah, I guess sweet and spicy Asian influence is probably the best way to describe it. It's just, it's so good. I definitely recommend trying it.
Gotcha. I will put it on my short list. Cookers. What kind of cookers you got?
Oh, wow.
Too many.
Let's see. Camera girl just said too many. I don't think I have enough. All right, so I've got my gas grill, propane grills with 4-burner. It's not even a name brand. I think I got it at Lowe's or Home Depot probably 5 years ago. Still running strong. This is, believe it or not, a little $120, $150, something like that. 4-burner, Home Depot, Lowe's brand gas grill has lasted me longer than any gas grill I've ever had before. And I've had some pretty expensive ones. And this thing keeps going. The actual ignition still works. I'm impressed by that thing. But yeah, other than that, I've got my offset smoker, and that's just an inexpensive guy too. It was the first smoker I ever bought, just because I wanted to try to get into it and see how I'd like it. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money. So that's just another like Home Depot brand cheap little offset smoker. That's what you guys will see on the videos that I did the paint to. It's the red top with the Baker BBQ logo on it. I call it the Baker BBQ smoke machine now. And let's see what else I have. I've got my UDS, the ugly drum smoker. That is by far one of the best purchases I've made. I love that thing. I got that used off of, I don't know, Facebook or Craigslist, some yard sale site. Went and picked it up, and man, that thing is amazing. If you don't have a drum smoker, I definitely would urge anybody that wants something easy to cook on, yeah, definitely try that out. And then my Weber kettle. That's the newest one. Believe it or not, the most pretty much iconic, classic barbecue cooker of all time is the one that I went without for so long. And that's my newest cooker. So I'm having fun with that one too.
I'm in the same boat. Mrs. Hobo says I've got too much stuff, and actually I hit my 5-year anniversary for the company I work for and went through the little catalog, and they had watches and rings and stuff, and they had that little Weber Go Anywhere. And the only other option was maybe they had a little set of ramekin little cook things from that French company I can't think of, but I ended up going with that little Go Anywhere, and it's been fun.
That little rectangle one that you've got that you've been cooking on. Yeah, I saw that. That's a neat little grill.
I decided last weekend to see if I can turn it into a smoker, and just for funsies, and it worked. So I think I'm actually doing some small pork ribs. Well, my grocery store, I talked to the butcher because it says like baby ribs. And I'm like, well, these don't look like rib tips because they have bones in them. But it's cut off from, I don't know if it's from the pork chop, but it's basically just that little nub where the bone would stick out off the end of the loin. So when they trim them up, they cut those off. I just cook them like ribs. They turn out basically like little miniature, I don't know, 2-inch by 6-inch ribs. So they're the perfect thing to throw on that little job.
Yeah, that works out good.
Corbq wants to know how long you've been growing your beard, and Phil and Florence wants to know, do you get food in your beard hair?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So how long have I been growing it? I think I completely stopped trimming it, because I've always had a beard, but it's always been like one of those close cropped beards. I stopped trimming completely about a little over a year ago. I think it was September of last year. So this magnificent mane is about a year and a month's worth of growth. And what was the other question?
Bill and Florence wants to know if you get food stuck in it a lot.
Oh God, all the time. Are you kidding me? It's inevitable. You should see me up at camp, a bunch of grown men making s'mores over the fire, and the sticky mess that is to try to clean out of this thing. Oh my goodness. It gets kind of messy sometimes. But luckily that's what soap and water's for. So it works out okay, but yeah, it definitely gets in there.
I think Barlow's sending you some Barlow beer balm coming soon.
That's awesome, man. Send it my way. You want my address? I'll post you my address right after this is done. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, don't do it on here. God knows what you'll end up with.
I know, right? No, I'll just personal message Matthew on that one.
Who taught you how to cook?
Oh, wow. How to cook. That's a tough one, you know. I think I take influences from all over. You know, my grandmother was a great cook, and so was my mom. My dad's an okay cook, but he's more of a crock pot guy. So if he can't put it in a crock pot or in the oven, then he really doesn't want to mess with it too much. He likes to throw on the grill, but he's more of a, you know, that summertime Sunday afternoon griller that wants to just throw some burgers and dogs on and be done with it pretty quickly. So, you know, I think I take influences, you know, cooking in general, definitely more from my mom's side of the family. You know, even my uncles are great cooks that, you know, they learned from my grandmother too. As far as barbecue in general, I think that was definitely more trial and error on my part, really. You know, I got into it, you know, when I was, you know, pretty young, you know, early 20s. You know, I mean, who in the early 20s, you know, how awesome is it to, on a nice summer day, just stand around the barbecue and, you know, drink a beer and watch meat burn? I mean, that's great, you know? So I was determined to learn it. And there were some tough times in the beginning because, like I said, I didn't have a specific teacher showing me how to do that. I burned some chicken and I did some things that weren't good, but, you know, I kept at it and definitely tried to, you know, master it and be the best I could at it. And so, you know, cooking in general, I'd say my mom's side of the family, barbecue was definitely more me, trial and error, trying to figure stuff out.
Right. Mr. Mega Fred Zeppelin in the chat while we're watching, and Onion Smoke Shack asked me the same question earlier. What are some of your favorite bands?
Ooh, favorite bands. Jeez.
Or hip hop groups. You look like a hip hop guy.
Yeah, you know, I actually do like some rap. I do. But you know, I think 80s and 90s hip hop is where it's at. You know, the Beastie Boys, Wu-Tang Clan, that type of stuff. I mean, that's rap these days is just trash. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
Who? Say rap is crap.
Who are you talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. It's more pop. But yeah, my taste in music is so eclectic, it's ridiculous. I mean, everything from probably as far as genre is concerned, my favorite would be, you know, the old outlaw country, you know, Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, Hank Williams Jr., David Allan Coe, that type of stuff as far as genre. But I mean, I'm all over the place. Like, I love ska, Real Big Fish, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, even pop. You know, Bruno Mars. I'm loving Bruno Mars lately, and Pink is. I mean, that girl can sing. And have you guys ever seen like her shows? The acrobatic stuff that she does in her shows. It's insane. It's like Cirque du Soleil type stuff. I would love to see her live. That would be a good one. Yeah, even rap. I mean, honestly, you know, years ago, I was even like majorly into Insane Clown Posse. So, my taste in music, I mean, if you take it from, you know, Insane Clown Posse to, you know, the old school outlaw country and everything in between, it's so eclectic that, you know, I couldn't even begin to tell you a favorite band. There's no way that could happen.
I think you and I get along well because most people who listen to my Spotify playlist just sit there and go, how do you go from Merle Haggard then to this, then to this, and
Yeah.
then now way over to this extreme?
Yeah.
Because I do,
Oh, yeah.
my kids live in Illinois, which is about a 7-hour drive. So when I go visit them, I'll randomly find something on Spotify, go to the next artist that's related, and I'll go from one genre to the next to the next. And then when you go back through and listen to the playlist of 800 songs, you go, that's.
No, yeah, it would. If you hit shuffle on my Pandora, it's the same thing. You'd think a crazy person had decided to pick the music. It doesn't make any sense at all.
But it's fun.
Excuse me. Rich's River Smokers, West Virginia. Richard's River Smokers, West Virginia. Rich's River Smokers, West Virginia. Rich's River Smokers, West Virginia. Richard's River Smokers, West Virginia. Okay, I got that out of the way. Don't tag me anymore.
I'm not even going to try to do that. So you guys just forget it. I'm not trying.
Anyways, Rich wants to know if you do any competition cooking.
No, I don't. I say that, and I'll say not yet. This is one of the things that that my brother Tim has talked about doing and has sort of wanted to do, and that's one of the ways. We're always thinking of different ways to try to grow the Baker BBQ brand, and that's one of the ways that he's sort of thrown out there and thought that he wanted to do, and it's certainly something that we could easily do. Lots of them, because there's lots of them up here in eastern Pennsylvania, and lots of them down there in the Virginia Beach area where he still lives, and lots of them in between. I mean, from where I live to where he lives is only about a 6.5 hour drive. So we could do them here, we could do them there, we could do lots of them in between. So it's definitely something that we've thought about, we've talked about, and very possibly in the near to semi-near future, we'll possibly start to get into.
Right. Texas style cuisine wants to know what's your favorite meat to cook.
My favorite meat to cook. Wow. Chicken, pork, and beef. Wow. I think if I had to pick one, probably be beef. I don't think I could live my life without steaks and cheeseburgers. And even ribs. Cows have pretty tasty ribs if you cook them right. So even that would be. I'd have to give up pork and poultry and just give me a good, giant, delicious, tasty cow any day of the week, and I'll be happy.
Right. So Onion Smoke Shack just logged in. I skipped.
Hey, Johnny.
You missed his favorite bands. It's all over the place. Watch the replay. You're gonna be mind blown. He asked another question, which since he just hopped on here, I'll throw it out there. Favorite bourbon, Jack, Makers, or Bullet? And I don't want to get into the argument of whether Jack is bourbon or Tennessee sipping whiskey.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't care what it is. I'm not a big bourbon drinker. I don't drink it at all, really. I don't like it. If I'm drinking, it's beer, vodka, spiced rum. One of my favorite drinks is especially in the summertime, is spiced rum and ginger ale with a little twist of lime in there. Oh, tastes like cream soda. It's so good. But yeah, bourbon, I stay away from that. There's two liquors that I pretty much stay away from exclusively are bourbon or scotch or Tennessee, anything in that variety of liquors. They're all the same to me. They taste the same to me, and it's just not good. So I sort of avoid that. And tequila too. I'm not a big fan of tequila. Unless it's in a margarita, which is really weird. I love margaritas, but other than that, nah. Definitely a beer, vodka, and spiced rum guy.
All right, Texas style cuisine. What was that? Getting some weird reverb. Anyways, Texas style cuisine made the comment in the thing that bourbon is from Kentucky and Bourbon County, and that is not factually true. Bourbon has to be the only jurisdictional law for geography is that it has to be made in the United States. You can Google that, and I'm going to move on from here.
See, that's the argument you didn't want to start, isn't it?
Okay, so we'll give the short version. I happen to, at one point in time in the last 2 years, have 200 different bourbons here in my house.
Wow.
Anyways, I've done some research, and the difference between bourbon and Jack Daniels is Jack Daniels legally could be considered a bourbon. It meets all the requirements to be a bourbon, but Tennessee made its own little niche in the world, which they made their own thing of what a Tennessee sipping whiskey is, which would be your George Dickel and your Jack Daniels. Made in Tennessee, and I'm not sure if there's any other rules that it has to go through charcoal filtering or not, because I don't care about Tennessee sipping whiskey, but arguably Jack Daniels meets all the requirements to be bourbon, but Tennessee made their own law, and that's where I end it.
Fair enough. None of that made any sense to me.
Robert Roy wants to know, hey, Robert Roy, glad you're here. Warn you that Robert Roy is going to ask you a boatload of questions, and I will do my best to relay them. Wants to know where you see your channel going. How far did I scroll up? Holy crap. I apologize. Where do you see your channel going in 2018?
In 2018, wow. Hopefully YouTube doesn't take it away from me. No, I joke, but with the monetization things, and I've seen a lot of the channels that I watch, things being demonetized lately. I'm not quite there yet, but it's one of the things that I really need to think about. Is especially with with firearms. One of the keywords in my slogan is guns. Meat, fire, beer, guns, and all other sorts of manly badassery. And that's one of the things that I've noticed YouTube doing a lot lately is they're demonetizing a lot of videos that really have anything to do with guns or firearms. So, that being right there in my slogan, is that something that, I have to worry about, every single video I post, in the future, once I get to the point that I can monetize them? Is that something that I have to worry about? That, everyone's going to be demonetized automatically? And am I willing to, I guess, take that away from my slogan and my videos, if that's the way I want to continue to, take the channel? I don't know. I think, that's one of the things I think about and I worry about, but I think overall, I'm having fun with it. I want to continue to have fun with it. I want to start to incorporate a little bit more outdoor lifestyle stuff into the videos, and not just, straight cooking videos. The last few I've done, I showed myself outdoors, fishing a couple times and, out in the woods hunting. So I want to try to incorporate some of that outdoor lifestyle stuff more into the videos than, like I said, just the straight cooks.
Right.
All that.
So I don't think you'll have a problem pulling that off, though, because I see a lot of, I'm no expert by any means, but I've done a lot of research for myself, and I see people say, if you've got a channel where you follow Pokemon Go, which I barely even understand what that is, and then you decide your next video is going to be some extreme religious video, that you should separate those type of channels. But I think with what you're talking about, cooking, outdoor life, stuff like that. You know, I see a lot of homesteading channels that are essentially that, minus you're not going to be chasing chickens.
I hope not. Who knows? You never know what could happen up in Sullivan County up at camp. Honestly, that's one of the things that Camera Girl wants. She wants chicken so bad. I'm kind of thankful right now that we live within a borough that doesn't allow us to do it.
So I'll ask this question because I believe you said earlier that Camera Girl has never been on camera.
Oh, well, no, not on Baker BBQ. And she's pretty adamant that she never will. I've shown her hands, chopping vegetables and stuff like that. But for the most part, she likes being behind the camera, making fun of me and, interjecting her little comments on what I should and shouldn't be doing. She doesn't mind. She doesn't mind the voice in the comments, but no, she doesn't want. She doesn't want to actually be shown on camera.
So I can't convince her to make a 12-second appearance on Hobo Nichol BBQ's channel.
It's bedtime. I'm going to sleep. I have to work.
It's the Christie's cooking excuse. I'm okay with that. I had to try.
Yeah, I don't blame you for trying. No doubt about that.
Come back in 5 years and see where we are.
That's a long time to wait.
November 2nd, 2022. I've got that on my calendar.
Right, put it on the calendar.
Man, we got way off track, and I like that. Typical weekday cook at your guys' house.
Oh, wow. That varies quite a bit, too. That could be anything from ordering pizza to fish sticks and macaroni and cheese to spaghetti, fried pork chops, or just baked in the oven pork chops, or grilled burgers, chicken on the grill. I mean, during the week, we usually don't do the long cooks, the smoking and stuff like that, but we still like to throw in some, grilled food, some barbecue here and there, as long as it's quick and easy.
We let him cook once or twice a week, whether he likes it or not.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. She likes to stand behind the camera and throw her little interjections in. Yeah, it really depends on the night too. I mean, normally we try to make things as easy and as quick as possible during the week because, we're both working. We both work full-time jobs, and by the time we both get home, you end up just looking at each other saying, whose turn is it to cook? And so it varies quite a bit.
All right, I'm going to make a challenge here just because I think it'll be fun. If anybody can guess what the 2 ingredients in my jelly jar are tonight, I will send you a Hobo Nichol BBQ t-shirt, which I have in the makes.
Wow. Good deal.
Everybody gets one guess. Don't put it in the comments over here on the right. Put it in the comments in the actual thing so that I can verify that it happened, because the comments in the chat live disappear. So come back and put a comment in the regular video. And I will tell you, there's 2 ingredients, and you can already tell one's bourbon, but you have to guess what brand of bourbon. And I will tell you, it is not a Tennessee sipping whiskey.
Wow, have to even guess what brand? That's
gotta make it challenging.
Yeah, he said he had 200 in his house last year.
Right. Yeah, you just said you had 200 different brands of bourbon in your house. They have to guess which one? Woo.
I'll tell you this, it's made in Kentucky. All right. Favorite video you've made thus far?
Wow. Favorite video I've made thus far. I would say probably one of my favorites is definitely the stuffed burgers that I did. I did those at camp. Cooking at camp is probably my favorite sort of, I guess, series you could call it. Anytime I get to go up to camp and cook, that's a lot of fun, especially over that fire pit that we've got up there. But that night, when we made those burgers, it was, I sort of, you sort of know something's going to be good. You sort of, you know the flavor profiles of different things, and you expect things to be good. But when I took a bite of that, and when, my wife took a bite of that too, we both just looked at each other and our eyes got really big, and we were like, oh my God, I did not expect it to be that good. So that was, making that video was a lot of fun. It was a time that me and her got to spend a really long weekend up at camp, just the two of us. So we were having a lot of fun, just spending time together and making a video. So I think that whole experience, it's definitely not one of my most viewed videos, but I think the experience of making that video and spending time with her like that is probably the most fun I've had making a video. Also, anytime I've got lots of family around, a lot of my summertime videos, you see my nieces and nephews and little kids, running around. Anytime I've got, lots of family around and, I'm cooking for big groups of people like that, that's super fun to me too. So yeah, cooking at camp, the stuffed burger video, and, any video that I get to make when I'm cooking for, large groups, especially, close family, is definitely a good time.
Awesome. Do you have any funny stories while recording that didn't make it through the editing process?
Wow. This is going to sound really boring, but no, I don't think so. I mean, most of the funny stuff that happens, I show and I keep it in. Like I said,
I got drunk that one time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, probably the funniest thing, and I didn't edit it out, was I was on some medication. I couldn't, drink alcohol for 6 months, and one of the first nights I was able to, I decided it'd be fun to make a video while I was drinking, and I went a little overboard on the drinking, and it definitely showed by the end of the video. I don't even remember which video it was, to be honest with you, but I went back and rewatched it, and I was like, wow, I was pretty sauced on that one night. I was like mumbling and stuff at the end of the video. At the end of the video, when a lot of times I'll show, the plate of the food, and I'll take a bite. I remember watching the video and thinking, I was just slurring and like poking at different things, trying to find the food. That was pretty funny. But yeah, most of the stuff I keep in just because my editing is so minimal. I like the raw aspect of my videos by keeping that editing so minimal.
Right. I've got a chuck roast video that is great, and I'm in the same boat as you. Too many drinks. Did the finish. And what's funny is when you're so drunk that you realize you're so drunk and you film something and you go, yeah, this is no good. Yeah, that was terrible.
I don't even think we ate that night. We didn't even eat the food. We just like, and then took a picture of it and went to bed.
Yeah.
So I keep sitting here on the fence whether I should post that video or not. And apparently anymore, I don't care what I post because I've done the outtakes of things that normally I wouldn't have posted, but people seem to like them, and I don't care.
I think in general, people love watching outtakes, and people love watching, other people mess up, and it puts a sort of a human aspect to people that you're watching. It's not just somebody that's, making a video that you're watching and enjoying. You can see that, hey, that guy's human too. He messes up too, and well, also it's just funny to watch people mess up.
That was like trying to do the Christie's cooking thing. Like, that was such a struggle. And normally I'm very good at the intro parts of things.
Yeah.
And watching it afterwards, after I edited it, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do an outtake video because I kind of just scroll through stuff real quick when I'm editing. And I'm like, at one point, I'm like grabbing my fake boobs and like, yeah. And I'm like, why did I do that?
I loved Christy's.
They get in the way. They get in the way.
I loved Christy's comment. Was the greatest thing ever. When I saw the picture, and Christy's comment was something like, "Well, the hair and the boobs aren't nearly big enough." That was just great. I was laughing at that. That was a good one.
So I will say this. This has gone way sideways. After I did the intro part, I decided, hey, I'll do the cooking part with the boobs in.
Okay.
And if you don't have boobs, it's very awkward. Like, this becomes an issue. I had to take them out.
All of a sudden, you've got tiny little CeeLo Green arms.
Yeah. So I filmed all that from a side view and screwed it up. But it was like, I can't do this. These are too big. All right. I can't remember who posted this question, but it became like a all-the-time question about week 2. What have you learned from having a YouTube channel?
What have I learned from having a YouTube channel? I think the biggest thing that I've learned is there's an awesome community of people that have YouTube channels and like to actually help each other out in things. When I first started, I would have never thought that. I would have really, my mindset was sort of, more competitive nature. Everybody wants the views, everybody wants the subscribers, everybody wants, your hits and your keywords and whatever, but it's really not like that from what I've seen. I mean, even the guys that have really big channels are trying to talk to and help out the guys like me that don't even have 200 subscribers yet, and that's really cool to me that you can collaborate and talk to and learn from people that are willing to help you out, especially for a new guy like me that my channel is so small. I'm not even to the point, like we said earlier, I don't even have enough views yet that I can even have the option to monetize anything yet. So, I'm just still having fun with it. But the fact that there, that group of people are there to help each other out is something I didn't expect. I haven't had any, trolls or haters or anything like that yet. So I'm looking forward to that. I really am, but I haven't had to deal with that yet. So I think there's sort of that camaraderie of YouTubers that's there. I didn't expect to have that. That's it.
I agree with you. We got Ballistic BBQ on here tonight. I can't remember how many subscribers he's got. I want to say it's like 250,000, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah,
the first time he showed up
he's one of the big guys. Definitely. Glad to see you, Greg.
What surprised me is the first one of these that he watched, and I'm watching the person I'm interviewing, trying to keep notes in a comment, and I sit there and I'm like, holy crap, this guy's watching my video.
It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, it's really cool. I think my biggest moment was when Russ Jones from Smoky Ribs, I had sent a comment on one of his videos, and he responded to it, and he responded to something I had sent him about one of the videos I did, and I was like, oh my gosh, Russ Jones watched my video. That's super cool. So, yeah, that was kind of the same idea, kind of same moment.
What I think is interesting is I've never met Greg from Ballistic BBQ personally. He seems like a really down to earth guy, but it's funny as to where you're at on the ladder as to you're like, wow, this he's watching my stuff, but he would probably sit there and do the same thing if some guy that has 1 million subscribers did the same thing to him.
That's true. It's all about perspective, I guess,
I see in for the grill barbecue. I know he's from Canada. I can't remember where. Okay, Greg from Ballistic Barbecue says he's an asshole. Well, he put a-hole, but I don't care, so I'm saying asshole. It's my video. I can do what I want.
We love assholes.
Anyways, Scott, who is in for the grill barbecue, posted a question of, do you have any tips for cooking in colder temperatures?
In colder temperatures? Yeah, keep the lid closed on your grill. That cold air gets in there real quick. Yeah, you know, I grill a lot in the wintertime. I've never really done a lot of smoking and stuff in the wintertime because, like I said, I just really got into smoking, early, spring or early summer of this year. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. I'm really looking forward to finding out how, like, my UDS holds temperature, in the wintertime. Because in the summertime, it's awesome. I can get easily, consistent 250 for like 15 hours with a full, basket of coals and wood. So that cold air on the outside of it, I'm really, really curious about how that's going to work. But as far as just grilling in general, which is the only thing I've really got any experience doing in the summertime, is grilling on a gas grill. You said something. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, in the wintertime is on the gas grill, and that's the major thing. That outside temperature really does play a big part on the temperature inside your grill. So you have to be a little bit more patient with it, and yeah, definitely keep your lid closed as much as possible because that heat escapes into that cold air, and that cold air gets into that grill real quick.
I mean, my only thing that I'll add to that is, I'm assuming that the 40-degree weather that I cooked in on that little Weber Go Anywhere last weekend, that you're going to get in Canada, but if I can keep that thing eaten at that point in 40 degrees on something that's very thin, etc., really the only thing you may have to do is open your intake more, get more oxygen in there, which makes your fire hotter.
Yep.
I've done some other things in the winter in the snow, and I have no intention this year of cutting off making smoking videos. The Humphreys Down East Beast is a very heavily insulated smoker, but even outside of that, I don't have a problem doing it. You're just going to go through more charcoal or fuel, whatever it is you use, but you may just have to keep it bumped up.
Yep. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I'm sure if it's negative.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm sure I'm going to go through more charcoal and wood, grilling and smoking in the wintertime than I do in the summer.
I mean, I'm sure if it's negative 40 or 50 outside, which I don't know how far up he is. I'm not a Canadian geography guy by any means, but I know guys that work up in Alaska, and they basically say, it's negative 25 or 40, whatever it is outside, and it's miserable, and you try to relate to that, and they go, yeah, basically anything, once it gets past negative 10, everything else is just, it's all the same. It's terrible.
Yeah, pretty much. I would agree with that. That's just too cold.
Texas Style Cuisine's comment was, get a blanket for it. I know I work in the oil refining industry, and, you can get insulation blankets. You just got to find the right guy. Find a guy that's an insulator.
To wrap the UDS in an insulated blanket. It's actually not a horrible idea.
I mean, it may take, it just depends on who you know. Could be one of those that you might know somebody that does insulation work for a living, and you might get it for a case of beer, and it might cost Bob the architect $200 because he doesn't know those type of people.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure if I know anybody that has insulated blankets. I don't know. I'm about to figure it out.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
Everybody knows a guy that knows a guy.
All right. Onion Smoke Shack also asked, what's your favorite YouTube channel?
Wow. These are some good questions. Wow. Hobo Nichol BBQ, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. There's a lot that I watch.
So here, I'll tie this. Let me tie that question with the next question on my regular list, which is 3 channels, 1 big, 1 small, and 1 that should be bigger that you follow. And if you want to expand
1 big
to a couple of
1 small, and 1 should be bigger. All right, 1 big. I guess it's probably as big as one of the big ones, is Gordon Ramsay. I like watching Gordon Ramsay a lot, especially with his YouTube videos and things that he does. It's fun to see like that not asshole side of Gordon Ramsay that you see on a lot of his TV shows and a lot of the YouTube videos that he does and stuff. Is he seems to have fun with it, and I think that's cool. And he's a good cook. He knows what he's doing. So you wanna learn some stuff. You can definitely learn a lot from him. So that's probably the biggest one that I like to watch a lot. Small one. Probably be. Wow, that is a really good question. There's one, I think it's called RC's Cooking and Outdoors, something like that. And he's a fairly small channel, but he does a lot of stuff that is kind of right up my alley. He does a lot of outdoor stuff. He does a lot of hunting and fishing and cooking and stuff too. So I like watching his stuff. And he's pretty small too. I mean, I don't know how many subscribers he's got, but he's not a very big channel. I'll try to figure out exactly. It's RC something. I'll try to figure it out, find it, and make sure it gets posted in the description. I'll get that information to you.
Okay.
And then one that should be bigger. Should be bigger. I'm gonna put 2 on this one, honestly, because these are guys that are big in the YouTube Cooks channels. Is Big Lou BBQ and Barlow BBQ. Those guys are just amazing cooks. They're amazing barbecuers. They have a great personality on YouTube, and I really think that they should definitely be bigger than they are. And I think with a little bit of time, those 2 guys are definitely going to make it in the YouTube world.
You better throw Martha in there with Matt, or else.
Oh yeah, Martha, absolutely. Those Martha, honestly, those eggplant cheesesteaks that you made, I do not like eggplant. That's like on my list of I will not eat it, even if it's an apocalypse and it means I will die. But you actually made it look fairly edible, I'll tell you that. So, not bad.
Texas Style Cuisine says that he thinks it's RC BBQ, Cooking and Outdoors.
That is it. That's the one. Yep. Thank you. Appreciate that.
It amazes me the amount of help that everybody, like you hit on earlier, is.
Yep.
We got this live stream going. A lot of these guys, will hop out, post a comment, whatever it is, to make it better.
That's super cool.
All right, I'm going to give you anything you want to talk about, what you got coming up soon, etc.
Oh man, I don't know what I've got coming up soon, to be honest with you. Everything I do is sort of just sort of on a whim, really. I mean, I figure out what I'm going to do with my videos sometimes the day before I do them.
We go to the grocery store.
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah, we go to the grocery store and what's on sale. All right, I can make a video out of that. So I try to get one out every week. At least. Sometimes if I got two, that's even greater. But what I've got coming up is your guess as much as it's mine. I have no idea. The main thing is I just want to keep having fun with it. I want to try to make things that are, entertaining, a little bit educational. People that haven't ever done this thing before. If they're watching my videos, I want to try to put some instructional stuff into it and make it entertaining at the same time. I don't want it to, people to get halfway through my video and be like, oh, that's boring, and move on. So I guess that's really what I've got coming up, is making more fun videos of me being outdoors and cooking and doing cool stuff. Who knows?
So I'm going to ask you this question just because I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
You watch certain people's barbecue videos and, you need a toe of newt, an eyelash of this. It's very specific. It's got to be this way or else you're not doing it right.
Oh, jeez.
My perspective from myself is that barbecue is not that hard once you get the basics. And after you get the basics of things, it's really hard to screw it up unless you fall asleep or get too drunk. So I just wanted your perspective on that.
I agree with that a lot. There's one thing that I say a lot. Cooking is an art. Baking is a science. So, with baking, yeah, you definitely have to have that exact specific amounts of ingredients and the right ratios and the right times and stuff. But cooking and barbecue it's more of an art. It's more interpretive. Anybody can do anything they want, however they want to do it. And the end product, if it tastes good, then you did all right. It's certainly not something that I think should have hard, fast rules to it. Everybody does things a little bit differently. It's like, I kind of hate to be this way, but I'm just gonna say it and throw these guys under the bus a little bit. Anybody that says, you can't use lighter fluid to start your charcoal, and they look down on people that do, well, I don't agree with that. I think that's wrong. Personally, I don't use charcoal or lighter fluid to start my charcoal, but if somebody chooses to, who am I to tell them you can't do that? There's no rules to it. As long as you're not making people sick and your end product tastes good, then you did a good job.
I agree with that. Onion Smoke Shack wants to know, where can we order Baker BBQ hats?
All my Baker BBQ swag is all pretty much prototypes at this point. It's stuff that I've ordered online and had sent to me. If you really want one, shoot me a message on YouTube or my email. The email is, can I get the email?
I don't care. As long as you don't, well, you're good.
I'm not going to lay in your I might regret that. Just send me a message on YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel, Baker BBQ, and shoot me a message there. And if you really want one, I will get you the details. I can order you one. I have PayPal. You can send me money. I'll order you a hat or a shirt, whatever you want. But yeah, I don't have like a shop or anything set up. It's really just prototype stuff that I've ordered for myself and my brother, just to look cool. Huh? Oh.
Q asks, what is the most expensive piece of meat you've ever cooked? And in line with the commentary that we're just having, I just ordered a shirt from him. Should be here next week.
I've seen those shirts. They're really cool. The most expensive meat that I've ever cooked. Yeah, it was. Well, the pork belly wasn't that expensive. It was probably a brisket. Probably a brisket that I got from a local butcher. And here in Lancaster County in Amish country, if you go to in Amish or Mennonite butcher, they call them a roll roast. I've never heard that before, but this guy assured me that the roll roast is the brisket. I don't know. I got it home. I cooked it. I mean, it was a pretty expensive piece of meat. I forget exactly what I paid for it, but it was. I remember looking at the tag and thinking, "Wow, that's."
Better not mess this up.
Yeah, better not mess that one up. Other than that, I try not to spend a huge amount of money. I mean, I want to do good cuts of meat. I want to do, nice stuff, but I'm on a budget, just like a lot of people. So until YouTube starts sending me checks for making these videos, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more careful on the money I spend. So yeah, I don't spend a huge amount of money.
Right. Big Reggie just hopped in. I don't know if you follow him, but he's got a pretty cool channel. He's been traveling a lot lately. He was going to send me some rub. He was traveling. He sent me a message. I don't know. It was probably a week ago saying that it was on its way, and I'm looking forward to trying it out.
No, I don't think I have. What's his channel?
Big Reggie. Big one word. Reggie, another word. Reggie.
All right. I want to go check it out.
And the last question I have, unless somebody drops something in the next answer this, Robert Roy, the man with the record number of questions ever on these hot seats, wants to know the most people you've ever cooked for and what did you make?
Wow, the most people I've ever cooked for. Yeah, probably 30 plus people, right around 30, 32 something. And we had a lot of stuff going, actually. We had a pork roast going. It was a tenderloin roast. We had a fatty going. We had some wings and poppers. We had we made the pork belly burnt ends. Yeah, there was, I think, three or four racks of ribs. And chicken and burgers and dogs for the kids. Plus, the sides, the green, my sister had made some green beans, and, you got your regular baked beans and potato salad, stuff like that. That was a big day. Luckily, I wasn't the only person cooking that day, but I was one of the main ones making sure things stayed on track. So that was a lot of fun.
So I'm going to ask you an oddball question if I can find this here, because this just popped into my head. I came across this recipe the other day, and I don't want to give away the cookbook name, but it may be something you've ever heard of. If not, it's a fun question to ask.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Major Gray's chutney?
Major Gray's chutney?
Yes. Is it brains?
I've heard of chutney.
So had I. So I'm going to ask this. If anybody has ever, I think it's an English thing.
Okay.
Here, I'll show you the cookbook. Hard to see. Anyways, it's called the Redneck Cookbook.
Huh. No, I've never.
I've had this thing.
Chutney.
I've had this cookbook for probably 10 years or so, and I finally just came across it again. And one of the ingredients is that Major Gray's chutney. And I've done some Googling on it, but I just thought I'd ask the question because sometimes, you know, the random person's like, yeah, you can get that here. And it tastes great.
No, that's something I've never heard of. I have no idea what that would be. I'm kind of curious
Texas-style
now.
cuisine says online. So
you can get anything at Walmart online.
Well, that's
Between
my thing
Walmart
is
and
I'd rather be able to get a hold of something. Johnny's Onion, or excuse me, Onion Smoke Shack says Major Gray's is British. Phil wants, well, now tell us what chutney is. Well, Phil and Florence, go to www.google.com, type in chutney, and then neither Carl nor I looks ignorant.
I've done a really good job so far, I think, tried not to come across as the actual idiot that I am. So we're going to keep it that way.
Right. All right, guys, we're going to get off here after we close this out, just because I want to talk to you for a minute. I appreciate everybody coming on. And Carl, you got anything, last words?
Just thanks for watching, guys. Just all you guys that are watching, you know, that's the reason that I'm able to be here doing this video and, you know, doing my YouTube videos. And if it weren't for people that watch it, there'd be no point in making them. So all the viewers, all the subscribers, everybody, I really appreciate it. I hope you continue to watch. And Chris, thank you very much for this opportunity. This has been a lot of fun. It's actually been a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So I'm really happy about that.
I think everybody gets nervous, but it's not that bad. We'll get Christy's cooking channel on here eventually.
Oh yeah, she's got to be next.
Maybe in 2022 when Camera Girl comes on, maybe they can do a collaboration.
A Camera Girl and Christy special.
All right, guys, I'm going to hit the stop broadcast button, and I will see you guys later. Bye.